Tell me what's going on. Right now.
Who do you want to be, Jeff? I need you to take...
What is up, Chocolatiers? Welcome back to another video. We're talking about a movie I was very excited for this month. Second most anticipated movie of the month. That is Roofman, starring Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, and Peter Dinklage. Now, this movie is based on the true story of Jeffrey Manchester, the Roofman, a former soldier and thief who escaped from prison, hid out inside of Toys R Us, and somehow found peace, faith, and even love while living life on the run. This is one of those movies that just sticks with you. It's very funny, it's emotional, it's packed with a lot of nostalgia, early 2000s feels that just hits differently. And so Roofman follows Jeffrey Manchester, played by Channing Tatum. He does a series of robberies, I think, 45 or 49, something like that, McDonald's. And he gets caught and sent to prison, but he then escapes. And instead of taking off across the country or hiding in the woods, he does something crazy. He builds himself a secret home inside of a Toys R Us. And from there, he starts trying to live like a normal person again. He begins attending church, donates toys to that church, meets people who have no idea who he really is, and including Kirsten Dunst's character, who becomes the heart of the story. And the wild part is that as the movie goes on, you actually start to forget that he's an escaped convict. And I feel like that's what makes the movie so unique, because it pulls you in so deep into Jeffrey's new life that just like everyone around him, you start to see the man, not the criminal. And that leads a lot into this tone and style the movie portrays, because its vibe is apart from anything else I've ever seen. It completely captures that early 2000s aesthetic, the old school McDonald's designs, the pre-industrial suburban look, the big neon Toys R Us logo. All of it just really takes you back. And it's drenched in nostalgia, and it literally feels like stepping into a time capsule from when Blockbuster was still around, which they show one in the movie, and Friday nights meant a Happy Meal and a movie rental. And the film uses that nostalgia to balance the sadness of Jeffrey's situation, because it's not a grim prison escape thriller. It's more like a soulful dramedy that reminds you of the warmth of that era while telling this crazy true story. Now, Channing Tatum is amazing in this, which I expected. This is honestly one of his best performances. He brings so much depth, humor, and charm to the character of Jeffrey Manchester. You can tell that he understands this man. There's this one scene, for example, early on where he's trying to talk to his daughter, and he's in prison at this time in the movie, and his ex is just ice cold to him. You can feel that heartbreak and frustration, because he's not really just some evil, mean guy. He's just a man who messed up and wants to do better. But what makes it even better is the comedy in this movie, because Channing's timing is perfect as usual. There's this scene where he's talking about going to Red Lobster. He's like, man, I love those cheddar shea bay biscuits. And it's just so funny just the way he says it. It's such a simple line, but he kills it. It's that perfect kind of grounded humor that makes this person feel real. And it also reminded me of the 21 Jump Street era of Channing Tatum, mixed with the emotional depth that he brought in Foxcatcher, because he's very funny, heartbreaking, and totally believable here. Kirsten Dunst is incredible here too as well, while bringing that warmth and genuine humanity to her role. You really buy the connection between her and Jeffrey, because it's very subtle, soft, and it feels earned. And then Peter Dinklage. He's great as always, and he's got this mix of that dry wit and authority that fits perfectly for this movie. His scenes are involving, the investigation, and that die pack bit that you see in the trailer is pure comedy gold. And I feel like the writing here is where Roofman really shines the most, because it's not necessarily trying to glorify crime or make Jeffrey some kind of anti-hero or a hero at all, really. It's about redemption. It's about a man who's done wrong but still wants to do right. It plays with this fascinating idea of identity, because Jeffrey isn't just hiding from the law, he's hiding from who he used to be. And the movie uses that Toys R Us setting as this symbol of innocence, because he's literally living in a place built around childhood joy, and he's trying to rediscover his own humanity, because it's kind of about loneliness, connection, and how badly people need to feel seen. From a technical standpoint, Roofman looks beautiful. The cinematography gives off that slightly hazy film grain texture that instantly kind of reminds you of that early 2000s nostalgia. The lighting is warm and also nostalgic, and you can practically feel the glow of the toy aisles and neon lights. The soundtrack is loaded with throwback tracks, little touches of alternative and acoustic songs that pull you right into that era. And I've got to give props to the direction, because the pacing, the tone, and the way it transitions between comedy and heartbreak are very masterful. It never really feels forced. Even the way they shoot inside the Toys R Us feels incredible. You feel the scale of it, the loneliness and also the strange sense of peace that he finds there during the nighttime segments. And that goes hand in hand with the emotional impact of this movie, because what surprised me the most is how it does hit you emotionally. For all the laughs and the quirky moments and stuff you see in the trailers, it's a really moving story. You feel for Jeffrey, you root for him, even though you know that he's done wrong and is going to keep doing wrong. And when things start falling apart, when people start learning the truth, that's when it really hits hard. You see how fragile his new life is, and you understand the cost of running from your past. And by the end, you don't just see a criminal, you see a broken man who finally finds a bit of grace. At the end of the day, Roofman is just one of those movies I feel like that just works. It's very heartfelt, funny, and deeply human. It's got a mix of that comedy, nostalgia, and redemption that we don't really see much anymore, unless it is like a biopic kind of like this. And honestly, it's the kind of movie that makes you want to call someone you love and just talk about old times. Channing Tatum gives one of his best performances to date alongside Kirsten Dunst, who brings her A game as usual, and a direction ties it all together in this perfectly bittersweet way. So with that, I'm going to give Roofman a 9.5 out of 10. It's very charming, emotional, nostalgic, and absolutely worth watching, especially in this fall season. It's kind of got them vibes. And so with that, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this movie. If you've seen it, if not, do you want to see it? Hell, do you want to see it because of this review? Let me know your thoughts down below, and like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Sell toys here, we don't give them away.
Wow.